And Republicans have won control of the Senate, retaking the chamber for the first time in 4 years. This gives the Republican Party a major power center in Washington and a lead role in confirming the next president's cabinet, as well as any Supreme Court justice if there is a vacancy. Control over the House of Representatives remains uncertain. However, Republicans have made early gains in their effort to retain control. Commenting on Donald Trump's presidential victory, China has stated that it would collaborate with the U.S. based on mutual respect. A foreign ministry spokesperson in Beijing stated that China's policy towards the U.S. remains consistent, even in the event of Donald Trump returning to the Oval Office. When asked how his potential return would affect U.S.-China relations, she also emphasized that China would continue to approach the U.S.-China relations based on the principles of mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and win-win cooperation. Strategists have said that Beijing was bracing for bitter superpower rivalry over trade, technology, and security issues. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has said in a statement that the UN is ready to work constructively with Donald Trump's administration after the Republicans' U.S. election victory. Guterres said he commends the people of the U.S. for their active participation in the democratic process. He added that the UN stands ready to work constructively with the incoming administration to address the dramatic challenges that the world is facing. Kirill Dmitriev, the head of the Russian Sovereign Wealth Fund, suggested that a Donald Trump victory in the U.S. presidential election could present an opportunity to rebuild relations between Russia and the U.S. Dmitriev, a former Goldman Sachs banker with prior contacts within the Trump team, indicated that the result could pave the way for a reset in bilateral ties. In addition to that, the Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov acknowledged that relations with the U.S. had reached a historic low, but expressed openness to dialogue if Trump returns to power. South Korea's trade minister has suggested that domestic companies may increase investments in the U.S. if the next administration raises tariffs. His comments came shortly after Donald Trump declared victory. Trade Minister stated that higher tariffs could prompt companies to consider boosting direct investments and expand local production in the U.S. He noted that the ongoing investments might accelerate, particularly among small and medium-sized parts manufacturers, potentially leading to an increase in U.S.-bound exports. He also added that in recent years, South Korean companies have focused their investments in the U.S. on automobile production, especially electric vehicles.
You're going to say you've done a terrible job, you're grossly incompetent, we're not going to take it anymore, Kamala, you're fired.
Supporters of Donald Trump have gathered outside Trump Tower in Manhattan, New York, to celebrate the projected election victory. Trump is ahead of Democratic candidate and Vice President Kamala Harris in the race to reach 270 electoral votes, having racked up 277 according to the AP. Fox News has already declared him the victor. Russia has said that relations with the U.S. were at a historic low, but that the Kremlin was open to dialogue and would see what would happen if Donald Trump returns to the White House in January. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that he was unaware of any plans for President Vladimir Putin to congratulate Donald Trump, who has claimed victory in the elections. When asked if relations would deteriorate further if Putin refrained from congratulating Trump, Peskov replied, "It is almost impossible to worsen them further. Relations are at their historically lowest point. What happens next will depend on the next U.S. leadership."